Hello, my name is Vedant Sharma, and this is a beginner's guide to Honkai Star Rail. But before this, I would like to tell you about the game and the genre this game exists in. This game is a gotcha game. Gotcha is basically a term used to identify a game that has a system of lucky draws, right? Whether it's for a character or for a weapon, and sometimes it's just for the skins, right? So let's go ahead and let's start. So basically this game is a gacha game, right, as I told you, and there is a MC, right? MC is
Can you
what
see the stars from here
we
too?
call a main character, right? Main character, protagonist, or the main lead of the story of this game, right? This game has a story. Meanwhile, you have other modes you can play around, and if you are far enough in the game, you don't even have to play the story. That's up to
What should
you
I
if you
observe
want
today?
rewards from the story or
Hmm.
not, right? So
Oh,
there are in-game currencies, right, which is used for upgrading the materials, upgrading the equipments, or upgrading the characters, right? And there are materials as well that are used to upgrade the characters. But there is also an in-game currency that is used for getting the characters in lucky draws,
what should I observe?
like this. So this is the in-game currency you get from doing quest, the stories, events, everything. Okay. How do you get this? You get this from multiple places,
Today.
right?
Hmm.
First of all, you get it from
Hmm.
missions. Where are missions? Here. So you get them from missions. You get them from story quest. This is story quest, which is in yellow. This is special quests. This is also important. This and this are more important than any other quest, right? If you have to be able to play every event, you have to do every story, right? And if you have to be able to progress in the game, like level up and everything, you have to do trailblaze continuance, right? These are just side stories, side quests, daily missions, adventure missions. These are just side quests. If you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't want to do it and you want to use money and not grind for everything that you like, for every lucky draw, right? So you can purchase them also by purchasing honoric shards. Every game that is a gacha game has their in-game currency, and they also have a purchasable currency that can be changed into in-game currency. So basically you can do this, right? You can purchase, but a disclaimer, it is okay to purchase, but it takes away the fun because you have purchased it, you have expectations of it, right? You, it takes away the feel that when you pull a character or get a character after a lucky draw by yourself, by grinding in the game, doing quests, doing stories and everything, right? Apart from pulling a character, right? There are a couple of things you have to avoid in a gacha game, which is obsessing over character, right? Like people say it's okay to obsess over character, but it is not. Like if I obsess over Dr. Ratio and building him, and I see someone's Dr. Ratio being too OP, and I am in a competition with him, and I try to build like everything better than him, I'll waste my resources. Frankly, if you do it along the way, like you are farming and doing everything and you're doing your dailies, you will get much more value than obsessing over a character. I am saying that because I have done that, and this is a new account, and I have to make a new account because of me obsessing over a character called Acheron in this game. So there is that. Now this was a general
What should I
perspective
observe
over a
today?
gotcha game and a
Hmm.
RPG or
Oh,
a open world or any gotcha game, right? Now, what do you want to do when you start this game is there will be a choice between uh, Stella and Kalis. Stella and Kalis are the protagonists of this game, right? She is the main character. She or he, you can
noise.
choose whether you want a male character or a female character. The stats of the female and male characters are basically the same. Speed of walking in the area might be slow or faster, I don't care, I don't
Noise.
know. But it is basically the same. It depends upon your choice, right? Whether you want to be a girl in the game or a boy in the game. Or if you look at the
Noise.
MC as yourself, or you just look at them as your player. So I look at my MC as my player. Okay. So when I play them, I wanted them to be a girl. So I did that. Now, what happens is
What should I observe
there is a
today? Hmm.
there is always a lack of jades when you start the game, right? But in this game, Star Rail, you have been the developers have been pretty generous. They give out a lot for free, right? Login rewards and everything. You log in for 7 days, you log in for 21 days, you log in for 14 days, you get some rewards according to the time you're playing in, right? Now, apart from getting these characters and getting these
Oh,
weapons, or you can for this game it is a light cone, right? It acts as a weapon. It adds to the characters characteristics. Okay, so apart from getting these, what you have to do is you have to complete some story quest, get to know the play style, the story of the character. Some you have to do like unlocking the areas, unlocking the uh, playable things you can do, right?
what should I
Then
observe
at
today?
every level, 10 level, right? This is a trailblaze level. Like at every 10 level, you get a quest, special quest, which is in trailblaze continuance, right? It is for improving or clearing the bar of your trailblaze level, because when you cross that, you will get enemies in the open world, like when you roam around in the open world and you get enemies, right? if I go here, I might come across a enemy. Their level be according to your trailblaze level. So if you don't want to die, you just keep on growing your account. There they have set a bar, right? You have to cross it. If you can't cross it, that means you can't, like this, right? And if you are a low level player and your characters aren't level up and your adventure level or trailblaze level gets up so high that the enemies are very difficult or impossible for you to beat, then it becomes a problem, right? So the devs have developed sequence, like stages to clear before you can enter the next phase of the challenge, right? Now let's say you have reached from 10 to 60, right? And
What should
you
I
have
observe
characters,
today? Hmm.
okay? You have built them, leveled them up, but they have these things called traces, right? Every game has them, like Genshin has abilities, they have traces, some have talents, like, right? Every game calls them different things, but they are the same thing, right? You have to level up your character first. These are the base stat, which can be improved: HP, attack, defense, right? And traces have the abilities, right? What the character really has to give you, right? Like what they provide, right? Then after leveling up, but for leveling these up, you need materials. How you get the material is doing calyx, okay? And calyx is like a domain, right? You teleport there, you enter, and you do these, right? You can do six of them at once, right? One after uh, another after another. Like there will be waves of enemies that you can cross one by one. But to cross them, you also have need to have like proper players, characters, right? And you have to build them up. Like if I do this in a new account, I can do that. But if I do this in a new account, I can't do that. Doing this in a later on account is not beneficial because you get this less rewards, right? Less material. Doing this in a later account is okay because you get more rare materials. You can make this from this, right? But you have to waste your energy. The less energy you want to give, the higher you have to go, right? The most efficient way to use this
Hmm.
like concept of games, right, is to log in daily, do your dailies, never miss your calyx or calyx for materials, calyx for experience, right? XP materials, right? Experience. This gives a character experience. This gives light phone experience. This gives uh, in-game currency that the game uses to upgrade your characters and everything. This is used with these and everything. So this is very important, but you get it along the way when you complete events and everything. You get a lot of it. Okay, but you have to focus on this only. Now these are used for talents, like trace materials, trace or talents. These are used, right? Now after that, you get these materials which are used for enhancing your character when your character crosses a certain range, like maybe it is on 40. First few times it doesn't take it, and after 40 every character wants it. 30 or 40, I don't know, but like, let's see why to leave it, right? This character is at level 1. There is no light cone, there are no relics. Relics are like artifacts or like gear, right? In some games it is called gear, some games it is called artifacts, in some games it is called relics, right? You equip these equipments, relics, gear, and you get a boost, and you have to build that those relics according to the traces or the talents the character has. Every character is different. Some character scales of HP, okay? Some character scales of attack, some character scales of defense, right? It depends upon their kit. A kit is what the characteristics of that character, right? Like, if you consider a character as a player, if I stopped saying it as a character, what is a character of a person, right? The things they have, the things they like, the things they do great, right? It is their character, right? So in this game or in any other gacha game, every character has their own character and own place in the game and own its own like usage and play style and everything. So you have to build those character according to that only, right? There are plenty of guides upon them, and once you like a character, you like the story, you like the play style, you like the animation, whatever you like, and you like that character, because of that you can build that character from the guides available on YouTube and official platforms and everywhere, right? Now if I level her up, okay, I'll be able to level these up, right? At every level you get a ascension, right? First I level her up, right? I need these for material. All these are the same. This is the upgrade version of this, this is the upgrade version of this, right? Now when I auto add, right, it takes all that is needed, right, to level her up to max level. As of yet there is a barrier that we have to cross to level her up more, right? Some is in the story if you are a lower level player, okay? And now since I've played a little in this account, I am AR, I think trailblazer level TL 40 or 45, right? So I can level my characters up to 50, right? So once I get them to 20 with using this currency, these materials, I got here, right? 20 out of 20, right? Max, but it is not the max level of that character. You see, there are one, two, three, four, five, six barriers for each level. Once you break that barrier or basically ascend the character to the next phase,
Very well. Out
you
with the
get
old and in with the new.
the 20 out of 30. Right now I can ascend her more. Okay, but since I was doing that for the sake of telling you how to do that, I'm not going to do that right now. You get a few rewards. In some games, you get a few rewards for ascending that character, right? These are tickets for standard character. There are some characters that are there in the standard
In
banner.
custody.
You get it for
Who's next?
character ascension, stories, and everything. You get these tickets, right? You can use them to lucky draw a character from that standard banner, right? You can claim
In
it.
custody.
I claimed it, right?
Who's next?
Now let's have a light cone banner. See, now light cones are based on the path that character walks, right? Or say for other games, it's like weapons are decided upon their playstyle. Like if the character uses a polearm or sword or claymore or something else, you'll equip them with that only. Okay, they if a polearm user is there and you're leveling it up and you level it up to max and you haven't leveled up her polearm because you want to add a sword to her, no, you can't do that. You have to use their path or their weapon of choice, right? This is what their character is, they use that only. Okay, so this is, she's from destruction, so this is the symbol for destruction, and these are the light cones that I have for her to use, right? She can use this, and these light cones have like these base stats, right? Level 1 is 38, 16, 9. It is different for every like rarity of the weapon or light cone you have for that character. Like this light cone is 3 star. Okay, if I had a 4-star light cone, its base base stats will be different, and if I have a 5-star, it base stats will be different, and so on. Now, when equipping a light cone or a weapon, you have like this introduction to that weapon or light cone, right? Where it has a certain ability, right? Which is for this one increase the wearer's attack by 10% and increases their damage to enemies affected with burn or bleed by 16%. This also applies to dot. So basically, if I use this on a character that applies burn or bleed, it will increase their damage. And if I pair up this particular character, if I equip this to her and use a character like Sampo, and he applies some debuff, her damage will increase and their damage will increase as well. So this is how these work. Basically, I might be wrong, but the damage to enemies affected by burn. So basically, her damage will be increased because of his wind share, or if not wind share is not there. I'm just giving you a example, right? I have like if she burns, like Asta is a fire character, right? If she burns the enemy and then we attack from Jue, it will have a damage increase of 16%, right? It also applies to dot. So dot is what shampoo applies. Wind shear, the number of wind shear. Okay, damage over time. Okay, now traces. Every character, like just like I said, has their own character. Okay, own characteristics. Like they might use the path of destruction and have a quantum energy, right? Quantum path, matlab the path of destruction, but they belong to quantum realm, right? Quantum is their choice of element,
In custody.
right? Now, who else? Like our MC, they walk the path of destruction as well, okay? But they are a physical element user, right? They use physical. Every
Noise.
one has their own element and path. So basic paths are, as of now, Eurydition, which is more like science, right? Destruction, which is destruction, right? Self-explanatory. Harmony is like for buffers, the characters who have buffing ability and everything. Like uh, they give your team a certain thing that makes them more powerful, right? They might have their own damage, they might not, but they are used to increase the damage or increase
What should
speed
I
or
observe
increase
today?
anything that they could for the other
Oh,
character, which is the main damage providing character or damage DPS, okay, or sub DPS, whichever works. Like I have set Hota as my sub DPS and my MC as my main DPS in this alternate account, and she as a buffer, she buffs their damage, makes their attack more powerful, then increase their damage, takes the team forward by increasing their speed, right? While that was done, we also need a sustainer in this. So where this is where abundance comes in. Abundance is a healer class, right? Healer path. So whoever is a healer, they might have buffing abilities as well, but whoever is a healer is in abundance, right? They also can have any element to their liking, right? Now there is hunt. So basically, when you talk about DPS and uh, sub DPS, hunt characters, destruction characters are probably the most DPS oriented characters. Okay, Jurisdictions and Nihility. Where is Nihility? Do I have one in this account? Yeah, Nihility characters. So Jurisdiction and Nihility characters are the characters which you consider as sub DPS because they either do follow up attacks or they do like uh, damage over time. Okay, but you cannot rely on that, rely on them entirely. So you have a main DPS as well. You can like see this is these games are more about your personality and what you like. You can make them your main DPS. It is viable, and some people do, and even I did when it's about Kafka. we do that, right? But majorly it is what it is. Okay, now talking about elements, there is freeze, there is physical, there is fire, there is il- I think electricity, right? Or what do we call it? Lightning, right? Wind, quantum, imaginary, right? These are the elements that every enemy you came across will have some of these as their weakness. Okay, and they might have the main weakness as fire, then another weakness is ice, then another weakness is wind. So if you have all of these, their field will be broken easily. Okay, so elements also create a big difference in every matchup you went ahead in this game, or in every game similar. Okay, now there are eidolons. When you get the copies of the character, like the same character, more than once, you unlock these, right? These are like talents which are hidden until you get the copies of the characters. They are not important, alright, but in some cases they are, right? And if even if they aren't, you have enough to pull them. You
In
can pull
custody.
them, and
Who's
I'd
next?
probably say don't pull a eidolon, don't pull a copy of your light phone. Rather play every character and you will enjoy the game more, right? These are for some people who are more competitive in the game, that want like to be the best in the game. If you aren't that kind of person, don't pull them. Just enjoy every character. And now we go back to the main topic of this game that every gotcha game revolves around, right? How do you pull the character you want, right? Once you have enough jades, right? In this game you have this should be 160 to get one ticket. You can exchange it from here. So 160 jades for one ticket, and which is equal to one warp, right? And one warp gets you a 3 star. Okay, might get you a 4 star or 5 star if you're lucky, but in general it gets you a 3 star. When you do a 10 pull, which is for 1600 jades, if you convert it directly, you get a 4 star, a higher chance to get a 4 star, and a 5 star. Okay, it doesn't matter for 5 stars, but it is said as per. Okay, now how to guarantee the character on the limited banner or the standard banner? You can't guarantee the character on the standard banner, but you can guarantee the character on the limited banner. Okay, even for this game only, you can guarantee the character on the standard banner as well by going up to 300 pulls, right? Where is it? Yeah, if you go up to 300 pulls and you chose some character, you can have, right? These characters for this game aren't very bad. These characters are very good. No matter what people say, no matter when you pull and you lost your 50-50 to these characters, you are good. Okay, I don't think they're bad at all. These characters, although they have a beautiful design, getting upgraded every time, new characters get newer abilities and everything. So these characters are always meant to power creep these, okay? Because these are OG original characters. They were made when the game was new. They are made when the game was going on. Okay, like now, if I wanna have Aventurine in my account, it will take up to a 90 pulse. Mostly takes 80 max if you're not very like you are not very you don't have a very bad luck, right? Now if even if you have a very bad luck, okay, you will get this character you if you get grind hard enough and get around 160 pulse, right? 160 or very very bad luck, then you will get it up in 180 pulse, right? Why I'm saying that is this is the drop rate of the limited time banner character, right? These come around frequently. Like if you don't have him right now, it will come out. He will come out later on in some other banner. Okay, not like he will not be a standard. Rather, he will be getting a rerun of this banner only. Okay, the 4 star might change, but he will not. 4 star will change, might not, will, but he will be there. So if you don't get him and you grind hard enough, or you think you got grind hard enough for him and you still don't get him, one way is to pay up, or another way is to wait for him to be rerun. Now, why I was saying you will get him around 180, because for guaranteeing a character, a 5 star character, you need 90 pull. Okay, you can get him early, like 30, 40, 50, or even on the first pull if you're lucky, but that's not certain. For certainly it to be there, you need 90 pulls, right? After the 90 pulls, or like from 80 to 90, you'll get a 5 star. In any case, in worst case scenario, you'll get a 5 star from 80 to 90. Okay, that 5 star isn't guaranteed to be the 5 star character on the banner. They can be one of these characters as well, but that happens only once. Okay, once every time you get him, that resets. Okay, so if I get Aventurine right now, pulling once or pulling 80 times, I got Aventurine. Now if I pull for Jinglu, I might not get Jinglu. I might get one of these, or I might get Jinglu as well. But to get him, you at least need 80 pulls, and that is up to fate if you have only 80 pulls. And if you have more than 80, like 160, you can guarantee him, right? 160 to 180, you can guarantee him, even if you lose your first chance or pity to these characters, right? So this is what it is. And to be honest, there are plenty of ways. Why is it acting up? I don't know. Okay, So basically there are plenty of ways you can earn jades as well. There are these puzzles, okay, there are these, where is it, crates and everything. Okay, I don't see any crate right now. I might have taken them all. And there are these, where is it, there's these stores which give you one upon expenditure. In every map there is some mechanism that will give you jades. Okay, you'll have to find them and do those, like these, right? This is a shopkeeper that gives you jades at every point level. You spend these and you'll get jades. Okay,
What should I observe
when
today?
you do missions you get jades. When you
Hmm.
do this is simulated universe, when you do simulated universe you get jades, right? You get 50, 60, 70 every, like once you are a new player you get more because you are clearing these. You get, every time you clear one of these you will get some. Okay, and then there is pure fiction which gives a lot more, but it is very difficult. But since this is what refreshes every time and this is what refreshes every time, I guess, so you can do these again and again and get your jades, right? These are guides. You do these missions and unlock these rewards as well. So you'll get a lot of jades from everywhere. Alongside will you will be getting some of these events, right? Limited time events and everything. Like this anniversary event is a limited time one, and you'll get jades from here as well. And these are some older events that were there when the game started, and you can do these and get the jades from here. So there are plenty of ways to
Oh,
farm everything in this game. You just have to be conscious and not overspend any of the things. Like build 10 character first. First, for story name. For story you need only 4. So build 4 characters. There should be one sustainer that sustains your team, for shield, for example shield or healer. Okay, one should be a buffer that gives your team attack boost or a crit damage boost or something like that. Okay, then there should be a sub DPS and a DPS. Okay, so that they do the damage while they are being healed or shielded by the
what
preserver
should I
or the
observe
sustainer.
today?
Okay, and they have been buffed by the
Hmm.
buffer.
Oh,
This is what happens in this game. And you, since it is a turn-based game, you are going to be attacked and you can't do anything about this unless you have some kind of very speedy characters. You can have 2 turns, but the enemy's turn will be there in any way. Okay, so you have to have a sustainer. You can't run all DPSs and move forward. So first, starting the game, you'll build only 4 characters, then you will build only 8 characters later on. Then you will go to up to 10 characters just to make sure you have every element of shield breakers or like break effects. Okay, what break
What should
their
I
shields,
observe today? Hmm.
but
Hmm.
make a decision
Oh,
on what you want to build. And these starter characters are pretty strong. You don't have to pull at all. Thank you. Have a nice day, and I hope I have answered almost every
noise.
query about this game in general. Thank you. Thank you very much for viewing this video until the end. Thank you. Please, if you want, like and subscribe, and if it helped, do share.